I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with a 3-minute cattle market update for Wednesday, March the 30th, brought to you in part by the American Simmental Association. Check out today's Simmental and discover the advantages of Sim Genetics. Go to simmental.org. Just started out the week slightly lower this week and pretty promising really for the most part, as hard as we were down last week and then closed on Good Friday there. Didn't really know what this week was going to bring, but it hasn't been all that bad. There's been some weakness there, but we expected that. Live cattle futures on the April contract on Monday was down 75 cents, but you know, all the out fronts were up just a little. And then Tuesday was down 25 cents on the April to end the day on Tuesday at 134.85. Feeder cattle on April contract Monday was down a quarter. Tuesday was up 50 cents to end the day on Tuesday at 156.07. CME feeder cattle index at 158.08 and has finally caught up to the real-time index on Cattle Market Central after the closing on Friday. We didn't really know where things were at, but real-time index is at 158.22, so in there real tight. Your weighted average on last week's fed cattle trade on only 51,300 head in the 5-area feeding region there had your live steers at 136.12, which was down 306. So like we said, that late 137 trade didn't budge the weighted average a whole lot. Dress steer at 217.67, which was down $5.22. And it just it's tough times right there. It seems that their packers are getting into some cattle, some captive supply cattle right now. They don't need to buy a whole lot of cattle on a negotiated basis. And you know, we've said last year all the cattle trade together out of the 5-area feeding region only amounted to about 21% on negotiated trade. So we just keep progressively losing competition here, especially on slaughter livestock. Down in Florida, your Central Beef Plant, Cow-Kill, closed its doors, looks like for good. So there's that much less competition on your cow and bull trade. And it just keeps progressively getting worse. I don't know if you saw where 4 packers now hold 70% of the value of all slaughtered livestock to be purchased. 70%, and only 4 packers. In comparison there, in 1980, that percentage was only 26%. But look at some cash feeder cattle sales on light runs, a lot of it due to the Easter holiday there, but also we're right in a lull between when your traditional wheat cattle came off and whenever your graze out wheat cattle will come off here in a few weeks, and we've sold almost all of our big calf strings and just not a lot of cattle moving right now. Oklahoma City had only 4,100 head on Monday. Feeders were steady to 3 lower, calves were steady. Joplin had only 3,200 on Monday. Feeders were steady and calves were steady to $3 higher. You look at Cattle Market Central for some quotes there. At Bluegrass Stockyards, Richmond, they had 3 loads on Tuesday of 9-weight steers sell from 137 to 139. Not too bad on some big cattle in the southeast. Tuesday there in McCook, Nebraska at Tri-State Livestock, they had 104 steers weighed 525, bring 218.75. That's 3 minutes. We'll talk to you on Friday.